The call center buzzed like a beehive, hundreds of agents in rows, headsets on, eyes glued to screens. I worked in workforce management, the timekeepers of the Hive. My job keep everyone on schedule, breaks time to the minute. My name is Alex, tucked away in a quiet corner, watching the sea of cubicles. Each agent was a code, a colored square on my screen, green for calls, yellow for after-call work, red for breaks. I balanced the colors, kept the Hive humming. Today felt like any other Monday: cool air, the smell of coffee, the steady glow of fluorescent lights. The morning rush was over, lunch hour approached. I sent out the first lunch break notifications, routine, automated, predictable. But routines break, sometimes an agent is late or a system goes down. I fixed those small problems, kept the schedule intact. I never thought about the people behind the names, just data points, colored squares. I didn't know their faces or stories. I only knew their numbers and their adherence to the schedule. Today that would change. One name on my screen was about to become much more than a number. The hum of the Hive was about to shift. I had no idea what was coming. The order I loved was about to unravel. And it all started with a single red square. The Hive's perfect rhythm was about to break, and I was the only one who noticed. Lunch break cycled through. First group at 11:30, last at 12:30. I watched the red squares, off phone, 30 minutes. Most agents returned on time, knowing every second was counted. I was buried in reports when I noticed it. One red square lingering too long, the system flagged it, yellow warning triangle. John, always on time, never an issue. But now, his break was at 45 minutes. I checked. Status, offline, lunch, duration, 45 minutes and counting. Annoyance flickered. 30 minutes was the rule. I had to act. First, I'd call his desk. Maybe he forgot to log in, maybe a frozen computer. There was always a simple explanation. There had to be. But the seconds kept ticking up. I minimized my report, focused on John's name. The red square mocked my perfect schedule. I prepared to call his supervisor, but I'd try his desk first. Maybe it was nothing. Maybe it was something. I dialed his extension, hoping for a quick fix. The hum of the Hive continued, oblivious. But for me, everything was about to change. One red square, one missing agent, the first crack in the order. I had no idea what I was about to uncover. I dialed the number. I dialed John's extension, 424. The phone rang, echoing in my ear. No answer. Maybe he was in the restroom or chatting in the break room. I let it ring 10 times, growing impatient. No one picked up, not even a nearby agent. His desk was a bubble of silence in the Hive. The red square persisted. John, 48 minutes. The problem wasn't fixing itself. Time for the next step: call his supervisor, Sarah. I didn't like calling supervisors. It always felt like tattling. But it was my job. I dialed Sarah's extension. Hi Sarah, it's Alex in Workforce. John is still on lunch, about 20 minutes over. Can you check on him? I expected a routine answer. I expected her to say she'd find him, but the answer I got was anything but routine. The hum of the Hive faded as I waited. My screen glowed with that stubborn red square. I braced myself for Sarah's reply. I had no idea what was coming. The schedule was about to break in a way I couldn't fix. I waited for Sarah's voice, hoping for a simple explanation. But nothing about this was simple. The red square stayed red. Sarah answered, her voice tired. I explained, John's been on lunch almost 50 minutes, no answer at his desk. Silence. Alex, what did you just say? She whispered. Confused, I repeated. John, he's late from lunch, my screen shows him offline. That's not possible, Sarah whispered, barely audible. Are you looking at his cubicle right now? I stood, turned, scanned the floor. Cubicle 424, empty. Chair pushed in, computer dark, desk bare. No photos, no papers, no mug. Sterile, vacant. As if no one had worked there in a long time. My heart pounded. Sarah, his desk is empty, I said. The hum of the call center felt distant. The order of the Hive was gone. I stared at the empty chair, the dark screen. The red square on my monitor glowed. Something was very wrong. The schedule couldn't explain this. I waited for Sarah to speak. His cubicle is empty, Sarah, I said, voice small. John isn't late from lunch, she replied quietly. He won't be coming back. Not today. Not ever. I didn't understand. Did he quit? Alex, she said, voice trembling. John died last week. The words hit me like a punch. I stared at my screen. John, offline, lunch. How could a dead man be on a lunch break? He was in a car accident last Tuesday, Sarah continued. We packed up his desk. No one's used that computer since. My mind raced. System glitch, mistake, anything but this. But Sarah's voice was certain. It's impossible for him to be logged in. I looked at the empty cubicle, so final, so permanent, but my computer insisted. John was just running late. The order I trusted was gone. The red square glowed, defying reality. I gripped the phone, numb. The Hive's hum felt like a distant memory. I was alone with a ghost in the system. The facts didn't add up. My world of order was unraveling. I stared at the screen, searching for answers, but all I saw was that red square, and the impossible truth. John was gone. I hung up, hands trembling. The red square, John, offline, lunch, remained. A digital ghost. I tried to rationalize system error, profile stuck, server glitch. I clicked his name, tried to log him out, error. Agent is currently in an active state. Active state. The words chilled me. I decided to monitor his line, just static, I thought. I put on my headset, heart pounding. Instead of silence, I heard faint static. Underneath a whisper, soft, airy, almost words. I turned up the volume. For a moment, I heard it clearly. Hello? A man's voice, unfamiliar but real. It came from John's line. I ripped off the headset, breathless. The hum of the Hive was gone. I stared at the red square, afraid to look away. The system was haunted, I was sure of it. The order I'd built my world on was gone. I was alone with the static, and the voice of a dead man. My heart hammered. The voice echoed in my mind. I tried to work, but my eyes kept drifting to the red square. John, 1 hour and 10 minutes. The light above my cubicle flickered, then went out, plunging me into semi-darkness. A chill swept over me, deep and unnatural. The hum of the call center faded, replaced by a ringing in my ears. I felt watched, not alone. On my blank monitor, white text appeared. Alex. My name, glowing in the darkness, then fading away. The light flickered back on. The world snapped back to normal, but nothing felt normal. I rubbed my arms, trying to shake the cold. The red square still glowed. The order was gone. I was trapped in a glitch, or a haunting. I needed to move, to escape my cubicle. The Hive's hum was just a memory. I was alone with the cold and the dark, and the name on the screen. I left my desk, legs shaky, heading for the break room. I passed John's empty cubicle, couldn't help but look. Chair pushed in, desk bare, untouched. I reached the windows, sunlight bright outside, but inside felt stormy. I stared at my reflection, pale, scared. Something moved behind me in the glass. For a split second I saw him, a pale man, headset on, standing in the aisle behind me. Blank face, dark eyes, watching. I spun around, no one there. The aisle was empty, agents busy on calls. No pale man, no one watching. I pressed my hand to the cold glass, breath ragged. Was I losing it? Or was something really there? I had to get back to my desk. I had to see if the red square was gone. The Hive's order was shattered. I was haunted by a name, a face, a voice. I walked back, heart pounding. The call center buzzed, oblivious. But I was changed. I was afraid of my own reflection, and of what I might find on my screen. The red square waited. So did the truth. The walk back to my desk felt endless. Every shadow moved, every noise startled me. I sat down, forced myself to look at the monitor. Relief. John's red square was gone. The system had updated. It was over. Just a glitch, I told myself. I tried to laugh it off, finish my work, forget the day. The call center hummed, the sun set, people left. I was almost alone, embarrassment replacing fear. Then my desk phone rang, shrill, piercing. Caller ID extension 424, John. The phone rang and rang. I couldn't move, the ringing stopped. Then my headset, lying on the desk, crackled to life. A static-filled voice whispered, "I know you can hear me." I froze, breath caught. The office was silent, but I wasn't alone. The order was gone, replaced by something I couldn't explain. The Hive's hum was just a memory. The haunting was real. I stared at the headset, terrified. The screen was blank, but the voice lingered. I knew I'd never forget this day. The call center would never feel the same, and neither would I.